Hey there, you're welcome to Youth Impression with Kewe. Youth Impression is an entertainment program that focuses on making sure that young people get the experiences that they need to make sure they stand out in their various fields of endeavor. We try to make sure that the creativity and positive vibes that are on the inside of every young person is displayed, and then of course it will bring about a better outcome in terms of their attitude and their behavior. I have a special guest with me today. Just after the break, I will be introducing him. You're welcome back to Youth Impression with Kewe. Here with me today is Emmanuel the Judge. We're glad to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
Okay. All right. So just before we roll, I'll give a profile. I'll read out his profiles. Mr. Emmanuel the Judge is a development economist, researcher, creative writer, poet, and a professionally trained and public speaking coach. Having won 5 times public speaking championship, he has also received several prizes, both for his academic and humanitarian projects. He has written several articles on poverty reduction, sustainable environment solutions, and leadership. He has taught, lectured, and coached many. His media programs on television has positively affected tens of thousands of people across the country. Mr. George is the president of the Rebuild Africa Initiative, a multilateral and international organization focused on raising and equipping youths on leadership, entrepreneurship, and good governance. Last year alone, several hundreds of youths in over 20 African countries benefited from his practical online training and mentorship that is focused on developing practical solutions. You're welcome, Mr. Emmanuel.
Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, okay. So today's topic is actually going to be centered around young people and leadership and governance. From your profile, we saw that you've been able to do a lot in terms of leadership and governance. So what is leadership to you?
It's a very important question. There are so many definitions of leadership. If you open a dictionary, you will realize that there are thousands of definitions of leadership. But there's a key thing in leadership, and that is leadership solve problems. If leaders can't solve problems, then why are they leaders? Leaders bring solution. So I have a simple definition of leadership, and that definition is leaders are those that solve problems. Leadership is a question looking for an answer. So when you see poverty, it's a question looking for an answer. When you see security challenge or challenges, it is a question looking for an answer. So leadership is a question looking for answers.
Fantastic. I love that definition. All right, so let's go straight to the young people, to the youths. Do you think that the youths of now are ready for leadership? African youths, I'm talking, let's just focus on African youths.
Yeah, starting from Nigeria before we move across Africa, I have traveled across this country. I have interacted with youths from different backgrounds, ethnicities, tribes, from a wide spectrum. And I've realized and I've come to discover that youths in Nigeria are not really ready for leadership.
Okay.
Because when you see youths or a population of youths, or when you see youths that are ready for leadership, it reflects in their attitude. And attitude, according to a famous psychiatrist, Dr. Carl Manager, he said attitude is more important than facts. It means that the attitude of the youths reflects, it speaks volumes. It speaks a lot about their readiness for leadership. Okay. So I would say that youths in Nigeria, there are signs that youths are waking up, but it is not a full picture of the readiness of youths for leadership.
Okay, fantastic. All right, so you talked about leadership and solving problems and all of that. Do you think that the youths now have been able to solve basic problems? To me, I feel that when it comes to information technology, there are quite a lot of problems that youths are solving. But then, of course, as we have the positive area, we also have the negative area. Do you think that the youths of now are ready in terms of being able to solve the problems? Because we have quite a lot of problems. You know, we're faced with quite a lot of problems. Do we have the solution?
I think youths have potentials. We have a lot of potentials. And the average Nigerian youth is very hardworking. Despite the fact that we have a few percentage of the population of youths in this country that are denting our image in the international cycles or in the international news, we still have a good percentage of our youths that are very hardworking. I believe that if the environment is created for the youths, they can maximize those potentials. But the first thing is you have to have a capacity to solve a problem. And you can't wait for until you become a governor or a councillor or a president before you are a leader. Wherever you find yourself, there is a problem in your community. There's a problem where you are. And what you are doing where you are is a reflection or it's a sign of what you will do when you even get a bigger office. So I always say to people that leadership doesn't prepare you. You prepare for leadership. The office does not prepare you for leadership. You prepare for the office. And wherever you find yourself, you can be in a village house and you can still do something. You don't need to wait until you become a governor. There is a problem in your community. There's a problem where you are. It can be illiteracy. It can be environmental pollution. It can be environmental degradation. It can be prostitution, teenage pregnancy. There are so many problems in our society today. And we cannot sit back or wait or feel that it is only when we are in government that we can become agents of change.
Okay, fantastic. All right, okay, like they say, talk is cheap, of course, except in the entertainment industry. So we've said a lot, and then we keep saying a lot. Basically, we talk and talk and talk and talk. But what actions do you think that we should make now at this stage of our lives as young people?
I would like to start with myself because I've been teaching leadership for many years. And I've started volunteering for leadership right from my teenage age. I'll give you a practical example because politicians are very good with words. They say a lot of things and people say a lot of things, but the action, leadership is an action word. It's not just a saying word. It's not just saying, I want to be a leader. What can you do? What are you doing? What will you do? So leadership is an action word. Myself, as a practical example, I live in a community, and every morning when I go out for my personal business, I realize that there are children around that community that don't go to school. They are just playing around. They don't have the opportunity to go to school because they don't have someone that will finance their education, that will give them the environment or the platform to learn. I realized that that is a problem. So one day I asked myself, how can I call myself a leader if I'm not doing anything? Today I can read and write. It is the result of teachers that taught me, my parents, my family. Someone invested in my education. Someone gave me an opportunity to learn how to read and write. What can I give back to the society, to my community? Is the problem solving?
Fantastic.
So I told myself that I am going to start a free literacy program for these kids.
Amazing.
So that was how the free literacy school was given birth to. The vision started like that, just with 2-3 kids. I went to their parents and said, I told their parents, I am not okay seeing these children in this state. And that's the kind of question young people need to ask ourselves. We can sit back and complain. We can sit back and do nothing. The do nothing class is very large. The do something class is very few. Because it takes more than talking to acting on what you are saying.
Exactly.
That makes you a leader. That's why a lot of people have dissatisfied with our political system. Because for too long, a lot of politicians have talked and talked and talked. And they have done little or nothing. So if we as young people want to break away from these long recycled failures, we need to take a shift. So the literacy program started, and the kids, it grew to like 20 children, and I volunteered my time and taught them how to read and write. We have music time, we have time for reading, spelling. That is leadership solution.
Great. All right, we'll take a little break. Youth Impression with Kewe will be right back. Welcome back to Youth Impression with Kewe. So we'll take it from where we stopped. All right, so tell us about your organization, Rebuild Africa Initiative.
The Rebuild Africa Initiative is an international organization, and we're focused on leadership, good governance, and entrepreneurship. We have chapters in various African countries, in Ghana, in Sierra Leone, in Uganda, and many more. We believe that, according to research, three of the major problems African countries are facing today is leadership deficits, good governance, and entrepreneurship because of the economic challenges we are facing. So the Rebuild Africa initiative is focused on changing these ugly narratives, giving Africa the true picture and image that she should have, and that is Africa can make things work. Africa can make things possible.
Great. Okay, so do you have a recent project you're working on at the moment? So tell us about it.
We just finished an agripreneurship summit for African youths, and we had participants from across Africa. We trained them on modern skills in farming and in agriculture. We brought in experts, agripreneurs, who are skilled and professionals in the business of agriculture, because for too long many African countries are focused on just a mono economy kind of thing. They're just focused on either crude oil or copper. We want the African youths to diversify, but for too long people have said a lot about diversification.
Okay. So how do people join in if they want to be a part of the project?
We have pages online on social media. We're on Facebook. We have social media pages. You can follow us at Rebuild Africa Initiative on Facebook. If you click on Rebuild Africa Initiative on Facebook, you can get to see some of the things we're doing. And you can also send me a personal message. If you go on Facebook, my Facebook name is Emmanuel D. George. And we will drop some of our email, or we drop our email so that you can easily send us an email so that we can respond to your questions and what you need to know about our organization.
Thank you very much. It was nice having you, Mr. Emmanuel the Judge. Thank you very much. That'll be all for now till we come again next time on the next episode. Watch out for us, same time, same station. This is me saying, have a beautiful time. Welcome to another episode of Youth Impression with Kara. Today we're going to be talking about something that relates to each and every one of us. So if you're a foodie like me, you would love this topic. We have a special guest, someone that knows